Hi guys. It may be hard to believe, but I've been offline for like a week now. I've been doing a bit of spring cleaning and I just can't really get to my computer. It's over there somewhere. Just as I've been doing this, I started thinking about some of the videos I can do once I get finished, and I realized, I haven't made a video update episode since like 2010 or thereabout. I don't really remember when. So I figured, you know what? We've got a lot of stuff to talk about. Why not make a cat life episode? Just after I finish cleaning up. Welcome to Video Update, Episode 2, Take 2. That intro was recorded some 2 months ago. It took me about a month and a half to get around to editing that. And it ended up being an hour-long episode with a lot of stuff that was either unnecessary explanation or, in the 2 months since then, has been made irrelevant. So, it was time for a fresh recording. First of all, I apologize for the noise coming from the door. It's got to be open. We're in that time of early summer where the temperatures at this time of the morning are cool enough not to need the air conditioner, but warm enough to make this room really, really stuffy. This is just how I've got to work with it. First and foremost, I had a really minor news item related to our comics and our fiction. In particular, I am starting over pretty much all my comics, even Errant Pixels. I'm trying to remove the old fan fiction element to those. Conundrum isn't going to be affected by this because by its nature it was a fan fiction crossover. It's going to stay that way, and I do hope to finish that someday. But comics like Errant Pixels, I'm dropping all of the references to games like Half-Life or other IPs. Mainly because I want to be able to do whatever I want with my project and not need permission from a publisher or a developer or anything like that. I want to be able to use my characters, I want to be able to use my material however I like. Now, the main bit of news I had today was related to shows. Shows like Nebulous Dawn, Spectacle, Living with Gmod, Tactical Insertion, those are animations. They're going to take a while to edit and trim up, make an episode, so there's going to be long gaps. And the fact is, I've got a lot of real-life responsibilities I have to focus on, so I've got less time each day to work on all of these projects. There's going to be bigger gaps. It's going to take longer. Then you've got shows like Let's Play United, It's a Spectacle, Solo Play. Those aren't as bad as an animation is, but there is a production value involved with those that's going to make those episodes take a little longer. I want some little shows that I can put in between. Some little Let's Plays that are simpler, more like just the highlights of the play experience, that sort of thing. So I'm talking about making a couple of new shows. The first one is a Minecraft show I haven't named yet. It happens to be coming around at a really good time. I haven't really done that much to the Realm of the Nine Fires yet. All we really did was build our spawn point. It also happens to be coming around at a time where just this week Minecraft Awesome was announced to be approaching a restart in October. So that server, that world, is going to be changing over. Good, that's a good time to get started. I'll go through and make an episode where I tour the Northridge build, a few episodes where I start preparing for the move, and then from there on, we get to see the whole process from start to finish on what we do. So there's a lot of opportunity there. Plus, since I already know Minecraft Awesome, there's a lot of people who would enjoy helping out on this, And on the Realm of the Nine Fires, people like Cyrus are going to be real quick to try and help out on this. So I have plenty of opportunity for guests to appear in episodes. There's a lot of opportunity there. It may just be me for half of the episodes, but it'll still be a lot of chance to really have some fun with it. The other new show we were talking about doing is more of a let's play of some of the games we're not going to play on LPU. Things like Castle Crashers, Magicka, even Borderlands 2. The only reason we're not going to do Borderlands 2 is because there's a long stretch of material to cover where we're just traveling or something like that. This gives us a chance to play some games and get kind of a highlight of our experience, maybe not need a heavy presence of a regular cast, but just whoever happens to be available, that sort of thing. There's a lot more opportunity for a looser let's play there. Solo play is rebooting. Solo play, I didn't like the direction that it went. The 3 episodes that we made for it are not available on YouTube anymore unless you're a VIP. You can go to the VIP section of the forums and still watch those. It is available on our Blip account, and I have no plans to change that, but I am starting over. I didn't like the irate gamer side of things, and really I felt like Portal wasn't a good place to start. Partly because it's a Portal game, you know. It's entertaining to a point, but it's also about solving puzzles, and basically I'm just showing you how to solve the puzzles. That's not much of a game, you know, not much of a show. I was thinking about doing something more with like Fallout 3 or Fallout New Vegas, that sort of thing, and playing with mods and doing it in character. I think that could be entertaining, especially an open world game like that. Let's Play United is still on the way. I've got 2 spray logos left to make. Tikchi and Paces both. I still need to make their sprays. And then I've got like 3 emoticons for each of us that I want to make so that we can throw them in when needed on the show, that sort of thing. And then I'll make more graphics as I go along and need them. But that'll be a good starting spot so we can go ahead and start filming episodes. Tactical insertion, living with Gmod, they're still a ways off. It takes time to do the animation, and I still need to work on scripts and that sort of thing. Also, really I could use some custom content. If you're good at making models, if you want to do some voice acting, if you want to make some maps for me, that sort of thing, let me know. Go into the forums and leave me a message. They are open opportunities there for people to join our team that can just make us some content. I would really, right now I'm using the Neo Heavy Combine as a stand-in for the Wildcat. I would really much prefer have the Wildcat. Disorientation, you may remember, was a 33-minute, 35-second video. It's available to the VIPs with annotation commentary. There's a 10-minute version available to the general public, and I'm thinking about removing that. It was a mess pretty much from the outset. It was edited with Windows Movie Maker, that sort of thing. It still has its merits. It's still entertaining enough. But I found the source files for it, and I want to try remixing it. I want to see what happens now that I have Vegas, now that I have access to danosongs.com, Key City Productions, that sort of thing. What can I do to tweak that episode and make it something different? Also, once we've done that, just sort of as a test to see how things work, we're going to make Disorientation 2. The goal here is actually to see what we can do with our new tools. We have our own server now. We have a bunch of tools available now. I want to see what we can do with it. I would not mind making Disorientation a series, but we've got to get it right first. 3D. 3D is one of the comics that I haven't even started yet. I am finally ready to go ahead and say that I am indeed going to work on that. I just, in the past 2 weeks, made that post, the explanation post, available. Once again, it was up, I took it down, I just put it back up. The main reason for the delay there, I had to decide how far I was willing to go with it, what I was willing to do with it. It's going to be more risque than our stuff. It's going to be more adult than a lot of our other stuff. And I needed to figure out just what I'm willing to do and just how much I'm willing to show and what I'm going to do with it. I had to make up my mind whether I really wanted to make something as risque as that. Finally, we are planning to start making some content available for sale. Not shows and that sort of thing, but I mean like t-shirts, merchandise. Hopefully, we'll get that up fairly soon so you can have a Cat Life t-shirt or an LPU t-shirt with some of our quotes or something like that. I really want to make this stuff available, but I also want to make posters and mouse pads, that sort of thing. So if you've got ideas of something you'd like to see made as this type of material, post your suggestions on the forums. I'd love to hear them. Other than that, I'm not really doing commissions or anything like that, but I'm more than willing to listen to suggestions. And eventually, maybe we'll get around to commissions too. The goal here is to help fund BWL. Because honestly, my equipment's getting old. I've dropped the camera about 3 times. My computer, the graphic card isn't supported by the developer anymore. The hard drive's only like a 250 gigabyte hard drive. I can't afford to replace anything right now, so we are looking at making some new content, or not content, but some new merchandise available. So watch for that. Hopefully we'll come up with some stuff you'll enjoy. Okay, it's time for the main topic of this episode. This is the main reason that we made this video. Cat Life. Back in 2009, the demo was released, late 2009. I was not satisfied with that. Up until this time, I had been functioning as sort of a CEO. I was staying in the background except for public relations. I would go out and do the interviews or post the news, that sort of thing. And Big Tom led the team to make something that's pretty good. But he ran into a number of real-life issues, and he lost contact with the team, they drifted apart, and he was left basically trying to debug 30-plus maps. What they released had changed a lot from what the original plans were. They scrapped the secret areas, they dropped a lot of the gags they had planned, and ultimately the story even kind of took a back seat. The plan he had was to release the demo and then release a map pack that would go with the demo and be the final product. I was not satisfied with that. For one thing, even the beginning files in the demo, the maps in the demo they're not what the Dark Shadows story was. They're what Big Tom started out with. So they're really, really early on stuff. And I'm not satisfied with that. I really wasn't. I want to see something better. I want to see something bigger in terms of story and that sort of thing. So I took over in 2010. Honestly, I needed to. Big Tom was just really busy, and he had a number of different things come up, and he was trying to debug that by himself. There's just no way. Main reason that nothing has happened in the last 3 years is because I have been busy. I've had a lot of stuff, obviously, around BWL. I've also been still basically alone. However, the truth is, stuff has happened. We've gone through 2 coders, sort of. We had Bluefire 40 in development. He offered to help out and started debugging our code and converting it over to a newer version of Visual C++, and then he ran into issues in real life. He had to, and he also had to start focusing more on in-development mods. So we kind of lost some ground there. We had another guy join us, and he was going to work on Cat Life for Source, and he got a job. He got a way better job. He got a job like programming flight simulators or something like that. So yeah, no, we can't compete with that. And then EDOC32 stepped in and has been doing this stuff for us. He volunteered to help out, and he is the reason we have so much to talk about today. Among other things, he tweaked our launcher image. He put one of my wallpapers in there. Problem with that is, and I really appreciate that he did it, I already fixed that myself. I used the exact same image, but I tweaked it, I cropped it. I also did a number of tweaks to the text that displays and set up the music to play, that sort of thing. I actually have been working on this sort of in the background. But EDOC also made a number of stand-in models, temporary models, so that we would have something to look at whenever we're placing entities, that sort of thing. I need a model, someone who, not a model developer, but I need someone who can work on the 3D art. I need some custom models. He made a number of temporary ones that look okay, but I need something else. And I really would like to see HD models. But I don't mean the HD that they already available for from Blue Shift. I mean, I want to see something different, something with a little bit of a different art style to it. I'm just kind of looking for somebody that can do that sort of thing. In the meantime, there's a number of changes to the code, and there's some pretty good ones. Among other things, we now have multiple body types for the dog. We can have 4 different breeds of dog because of the way that EDOC set that up. He also changed the code for the human grunts so they don't use grenades on the cat anymore. That's a big plus because they went nuts when the cat was in the room. He also changed the way a lot of the entities interact so that some enemies aren't going to look at the player as such a threat, while others are going to look at them like dinner and really go berserk. So there's definitely a change there. He made a bunch of the custom weapons. He asked me for a list of things to do, and I gave him a list of a bunch of the custom weapons I wanted. Our plan is to add the secret areas back in and to create some secret worlds. And if you complete a secret world, you go out and you find this stuff, you can get a weapon as a reward. And that was kind of the idea all along as I saw it. And I'm combining the Cat Life source story with the Cat Life for Gold source story, the one that Dark Shadow wrote. So it should actually all work out a lot better. You should be able to play the game without finding the secret areas, but if you want to, you can get some cool toys to play with. Among other things, we have a mouse homing missile. EDOC modified the snark so that it works as a mouse homing missile, and it looks pretty good. We need the custom models for that though, because you're still holding a snark when you look at it. He added in the acid hairballs, which work pretty well, and he added in the amp suit, although it's buggy. The amp suit doesn't necessarily, it's not persistent or something. I'm not totally clear on what's going on there. There are some kind of neat new guns there to play with. He added in the kitty chainsaw. I'm not going to show that to you in this video because frankly, it's using a temporary model that is his model. He has asked that we get that changed as soon as possible. He made it so that he could, do that, but it's from his mod, so I can't really release it with that model in place. We need a custom kitty chainsaw model set. He also made the toast module, but it's buggy and it doesn't totally work. It needs to be tweaked, but basically that's the kitty jetpack. He added a number of new map entities that I can't show you because his test map hasn't worked, and he's tried to fix that twice, and first the map would crash, then he sent me a new copy of the map and some new versions of the DLLs, and none of the custom code worked. The map played, but nothing, you couldn't spawn any of the custom weapons or anything like that. So I can't really show you that stuff. I haven't had the time to make a sample map for myself. But I can tell you about them. Among other things, he has added a grass entity. He has added a sun entity so that I can position an earth or a Zen sun and that sort of thing. There's like 4 different sun settings, and I can choose where they are in the sky, that sort of thing. He added a particle simulator. He added a look trigger, so when you look at something, it'll trigger an event if you're looking right at it. He added a secret area entity, so our secret areas will actually be like identified by an entity in game, and a bunch of other stuff. I mean, really, he's tweaked a lot, and this is sort of the point. We are going to make something of a commitment to release this by the end of the year. My goal last year had been to release it by December 2012, and that didn't happen. This year, that's the plan. It may not be a full game. It may be, something much lighter, but we are going to try to have some form of release this year, by December, or by the end of December. I would love to get it done sooner, but I'd need help to do that. Even then, I can't guarantee anything. So by the end of the year, some form of initial release, a first release, I want to have out. After that, I'm going to pass it on to somebody else. I need to focus on Cat Life for Source. But I want to get something out this year.